Welcome back to the farm, friends. We are on the 43 right now, the new 43 acres that we just bought. I wanted to show you, we got one more little update. We've got some fencing that we've put in, a lot of the posts in down there, done some decent updates, but this is going to be one of the most important updates. This is the update that's going to help to pay the note on this land. So we are putting in a rental property, and this is our pad that we're going to put in. This is the pad to help keep the water rolled away from the little house. We haven't decided whether or not we're going to build it or buy it, or what we're going to do. It's going to be a smaller rental house. So this pad right here is going to be for that little piece of rental property. So the dozer operator, he came in here and he got all this done. It's looking pretty good. He's a really good operator. He does a lot of good work for us. He's really busy, so he's going to come back and do a little bit more work. I wanted to touch on a little bit today why we're doing this and whether or not maybe you should consider this on your farm or even on your homestead. This right here is a small piece of rental property that is on the only road frontage of this land. This road frontage goes from that post right there all the way up to a little bit past right about where that dead tree is. That's pretty much going to be the amount of road frontage. So we've got just enough road frontage for one piece of rental property and a good driveway for us to come in and out of. The reason we're doing this is because this rental property, based on the amount, the cost of building or buying the rental property, whichever route we go, unless we get a great deal, based on the rental value that other properties in our area go for, we'll be able to rent this and pay for the entire note of the rental property itself and pay for the new land payment as well. Pay for both of those. We won't be able to make triple payments on it like we like. We love making triple payments on stuff when we can, but we won't be able to make triple payments, but they're still able to pay for themselves. So if we have extra capital coming in, we can always take that and make your double or triple payments. Okay? But the reason why this is good is because now that means that the renter, the person renting this property, can actually help us to pay for this land and actually pay for the whole thing. But then when you combine the livestock to go with it, then we should be able to make double payments with the livestock and with the rental property. Now the thing is traditional farming, it's very difficult to justify owning the land, but you can still own the land because the land itself goes up in value. So if you think of it as a separate investment, then it's still worth owning the land. But it can be difficult to pay off a piece of land. It definitely, I mean, sometimes all you can do is just make that note, and some people will sit there and make that note for 30 years, even get new mortgages back on the land, and they'll just be in debt constantly. Okay, there is such a thing as good debt and bad debt, and some of this is what we are considering as good debt, because this is debt that's going to allow us to make more income than we could otherwise make. We could not make the income that we'll be able to make off of the cattle this year, and we could not make the income that will be coming from this. But not only that, the long-term collateral that will build from owning the rental property and from owning the land itself is another form of wealth that you can start to build. And the older you get, the more you realize that you've got to put back some wealth. You've got to have wealth in different ways. So why I think this is good for a lot of people, and we're trying this out, and I've seen other people be successful at this, and this is something that my in-laws have been getting into for quite some time, and I know some people in the area that are have actually done really well at it. And I also know a couple of YouTubers that are trying their hands at it and doing well at it. The reason it's really good is because this gives you the opportunity to make money off of that land in a way that you wouldn't normally make, okay? But it can help you to pay off a piece of land faster, and the reason is because this rental property is more valuable than a piece of rental property inside of town. Now, to some degree, the piece of property in town has value, but typically you can rent this property out for more, and the reason is because they're paying for a view. But they're not just paying for a view, they're also paying for privacy, they're paying for an experience. I know a YouTuber, and I will try to link him to this video. He just did a video where he was talking about Airbnb on his land, on his farm, and he's making really good money. And that's just an excellent way that you can bring in extra income. So I don't want to drag the video out. I want to talk more about this. It will be a while before we go all the way with this, but we wanted to go ahead and get our pad in and decide where we want to put a fence. But I wanted to show you all the update to this, and I also wanted to kind of give y'all an idea of something that you can do to increase income on your land, and also kind of where the channel's going. You know, because the channel has always been about, or is about, you know, the independent man. It's about being independent in ways that you can think outside the box and make money in different ways. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe, and we will be seeing more on this property. And if it goes well, we may end up buying more land in this way and continue to go down that route.